Hey guys, my name is Hannah and I would say let's have some fun today. So this video won't be an easy one for me and I thought really much about it because today's the day where I also will do the if I could only keep 10 palettes of my collection. And this is really not easy, guys. And I have to say there are maybe some surprises for you there, also for me, because I didn't pick out some palettes that I ranked really high, but there's a reason for that and I will get into it when we are there. But if it sounds good and interesting to you, I would say stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, the first palette I would keep, it's maybe a little bit biased of me because it's a newer palette of mine, but it's my Dior Blue Velvet palette, this quint right here. I thought about it because I really like Dior, first of all, and I just have 2 Dior palettes, so I really wanted to keep one. So now I gave it away. I just keep this one and not the other one, but the other one I also really love. But I thought about which color story I really like a little bit more, and I'm a sucker for blue eyeshadows, and this is really the only palette that I have in my collection that it's like that really true blue but on the same time sophisticated colors that I have, and I really like that about this one. So this was a really easy one for me that I want to keep this one in my collection. And I loved the looks I created with this one until now. And yeah, like I told you, this one really reminds me of the early 2000 eras and I'm a sucker for that as well. So this one, yeah, it had to be in my collection. The next one, I don't think many of you will agree about that, but it would be my Gucci palette right here. And the reason because is, I think when I want something really subdued, a little bit more on the neutral side, not that much to it, but I also want a little bit something on my eyes, I think this palette is really great for something like that. And this is the only palette I think I can really do this with without to dip not too hard into it with my brush or something like that, you know. I don't have to think that much with this palette and I just slap the color on and I'm ready for the day. So I think this is a good one for something like that, and I think I need something like that as well in my collection. So if I would only keep 10 palettes, which thank God I don't do, but if I would only keep 10, this one would be one of them. And the other thing is I love the component, I love the overall feeling with this one, and it gives me something that I like, so I would keep it, I think. And I also can do a little bit more smoked out things, a little bit more fun things with it, but I also can keep it really nice and neutral and call it a day, you know. So I think this one is really great for something like that, and it's a quick, easy, nice palette to have on hand, you know. So I really like it. I paid really much for it, so I think I would like to keep this one around. So the next palette is my Natasha Denona gold palette right here, and for obvious reasons I would keep this one. It's neutral but also glimmery and fun on the same time, and I think I grab really often into this one, although I have so many brownish leaning palettes, but I really like to use this one very often for that. Yeah, I'm really a big fan of this one. I created so many beautiful, fun, interesting looks, but also so many beautiful, neutral, everyday looks with this one, and I really love it. And this one would last a long time, so therefore I think it's also good if I only have 10 that I have this one around for a little bit longer. And yeah, I love that you can play with golds, but you also have those greenish golds right here, those blues, a little bit of a nice neutral twist with this mustardy shade right here. And yeah, all in all, I really love it. I love those really nice, extreme glittery shades that you have in here. I'm a glitter girl. I love to have some glitter stuff on my eyes. Not every day, to be fair, but fairly enough relatively often. I love glittery eyes and I'm really happy when I have a glittery eye. So therefore this palette is really perfect. I love the looks. I love everything about this, and I can't imagine to don't have this one anymore in my collection. So if I could only keep 10 palettes, this one would be 100% with staying in my collection. You can bet on it, because I really love this one and I'm so sad that this one isn't available anymore. But yeah, I'm happy that I have it and I won't give it away, that's for sure. So the next one is also a Natasha Denona palette, and it's the Loco palette right here. And the reason that I would keep this one as well in my collection is because I need some fun colors, guys. I need some pop, I need some, yeah, really nice jewel tone shades in my collection. I think this one is great for that, so that I don't miss them, you know, and I don't have the feeling I need to buy more palettes. So if I could only have 10, this one would definitely be in my collection because I think I can create so fun looks with it. I also can go a little bit, yeah, subdued, not really subdued, but you know, with this gold and this bronzy shade right here, you also can keep it a little bit more low-key, but all in all, this is a really fun, bright palette in the end. And I also have the option with those really nice, yeah, pastel-y shades right here. I don't think, yeah, I give it away again, but I don't think I have another, no, I don't have another pastel palette in my 10 palettes that I would keep, because I like to wear pastels, but not in that intensity that when I need to make the choice which one I want to keep, which 10 palettes I want to keep, it wouldn't be necessary a pastel palette. So that I have here the options for some pastels, it's really nice for me. So therefore, yeah, it's also great, and I would definitely keep this one to have some playtime, you know. So, and to have also something that goes a little bit more in the cool direction, you know, for the winter and autumn time. I think my Mcgrath Mothership Subliminal Platinum Bronze palette, the 6-pan one, is great for that. I really love this one. I wasn't sure if I want to keep this one or the Mary Jane palette. If I could only have 10, but I would never give away my Mary Jane. I really love that palette. But I would keep this one over the Mary Jane because I thought about, yeah, the Mary Jane is a little bit more special with those greenish coolish shades. But I have those greenish coolish shades in my Natasha Denona Gold palette, or more like gold green shades, and this is really enough for me personally. And I want something that it's really quick, easy, sophisticated and nice on the same time, and those are really true cool colors in here, and I really like that one. And it's so easy, so fast, and you immediately have a really beautiful eye look when you're using this one. You don't have to think that much about it, and I really like that. I have the more artistic ones, you know, the more Natasha Denona Loco, where I can think a little bit more about what I want to do, play a little bit more. But when it comes to colors like that, that are a little bit more, yeah, on the neutral side, I'm not mad about it when it's a little bit faster, easier and quicker, you know. And this one is giving me that. So therefore I think I would keep this one over the Mary Jane. And I really like that one. It's a really nice palette. I have it now for such a long time. It was my first ever Mcgrath palette that I bought for myself. And I think there's also a little bit of a sentimental value to me with this one. So yeah, this would be the next one that I really wanted to keep, to have some cool colors in my collection, and yeah, that I have the option, you know, for maybe the colder weather when I feel like a more cool toned eye. So the 6th one would also be a Mcgrath, and it's a larger Mothership one. It's the 10-pan, and it's the Subversive palette. Guys, I will tell you right now, I wouldn't keep my... I would never give this one away, and I will never give this one away, but I wouldn't keep my, you see it right there on the shelf, I wouldn't keep my Divine Rose 2 palette because I choose something else over that, and I don't think that many people would agree with me, but there's a reason for that. We will come to that a little bit later, but this one I would keep definitely, to have some fun pops of colors, to have a night out palette almost, you know. Like I told you, I don't really care, but if I think about a night out, I would really want a fun and cool eye look, and with this one I can get it really easily. And I think this one is also such an, yeah, unique and nice palette from Mcgrath. Is so glittery, so beautiful. And one of you guys told me, because I told you about that shade, that it's not that glittery and it's not giving me that much, that I have to scrape off the overlayer of that shade, and that it will then be a little bit more on the glittery side, and I will get the real effect of that shade. I tried it out, and I have to say I think it's working. It's not quite there, but it's better than before. I made a look with this, yeah, brownish shades, and I topped those off with this glittery shade right here after I scraped the top part off, and it looked really nice and glittery, I have to say, and it transformed the look in the end. So it worked, so thank you for that. And yeah, I would keep this one definitely, because I think I can create so many beautiful fun looks, so many beautiful night out looks, but I can go also a little bit neutral, not that much, but with this brownish shades right here, if I want to keep it a little bit more light and fresh. But yeah, I really have to say I need this one in my life. And I know in my Pat McGrath ranking, I ranked my Divine Rose 2 really high. It was on the first place. But if I have to keep 10 palettes, I think I wouldn't keep both of my Motherships. I would just keep this one, because I think this one would give me a little bit more fun. And when I think of Pat McGrath, I want fun. And yeah, this is the one that gives me that. So in that case, and another Pat McGrath palette won over that. That's also because I didn't choose this one. So yeah, it was really hard, guys, but I know because I know I don't really just keep 10 palettes, it's, you know, I can make the decision, but in the real scenario case, I don't think it would be that easy for me, but I think I made the right choice to keep this one over my Divine Rose 2, because I think this one is giving me a little bit more of excitement. So the last Pat McGrath palette I would keep, it's my Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette from Pat McGrath. Guys, I love this one so much, and this one is really giving me all the, yeah, autumn, Christmassy, winter vibes that I need. This one has the greens, the lilac shades, the gold shades, the reddish shades, everything I need for that kind of a time. And I think until now I kept really many more, yeah, summery tones in my collection, or more the, yeah, neutral tones, but I really need something like that. It's so beautiful, so glimmery, I really love it. I also can go a little bit more on the neutral side if I want, so this palette is really giving me so much that I want and I need in my life for my eye look, you know, and I think I can't without it. I can't, yeah. It needs to be in my 10 palettes I want to keep, because it's such a fun palette and I need something for autumn, you know, and this is a really autumn vibe palette for me as well. So in that case, I think if I wouldn't keep this one, I really would miss some autumn shades in my collection that I can, you know, slap on my eyelid and call it a day. So to feel the autumn vibes. And I really need something like that, and this is exactly giving me that. So this is definitely a palette I also would keep. So number 8, and this is the palette I would keep over my Divine Rose 2 palette, but hear me out first. It's the Millennial Pinks from Melt Cosmetics. The reason because is I know the Pat McGrath is so much more glimmery, so much more bam wham in your face, but I really think I need something in my collection, because I kept so many glittery palettes already, you know. I need something a little bit more on the subdued side, and this is perfect for that. And on the other hand, this one is also more that pinky rosy tones that I really like. Also count that my Millennial Pinks, it's holding the whole day on my eyelid, you know. The Pat McGrath I always have to, this is nothing that bothers me, but it's creasing a little bit faster than this one as well. And this one have more the real pinky tones in it. But I also can go rosy if I want to. So I think this one is giving me more those rose tones that I need and that I want. I need some pinky rosy vibes in my collection, you know, because I love pink rosy eyes. And this one, the Divine Rose 2, haven't that many pink shades in it, you know. It had more the rosy, subdued rosy tones, and this one really have more those real pinks in it. So therefore I think I would keep this one over the Divine Rose 2. But it's not easy, guys. It's really not easy to say that. And I really love Melt Cosmetics. I really love Pat McGrath. I think I love Pat McGrath a little bit more than Melt, but I think you can't compare those two really much, because they are completely different vibes, completely different eyeshadow formulas, and they are going in a completely different direction, if you know what I mean. But all in all, I think I would keep this one, to not just have Pat McGrath stuff in my collection, and also a little bit more of my other brand that I like and love, and admire, and this one would be Melt Cosmetics, so therefore I also needed to keep some Melt palettes in my collection to keep it a little bit more fresh. So the next one, the last two ones would also be Melt palettes, so that you are aware of that. And the next one would be my Rust palette from Melt. And if I have to say more, I don't think so. Here I have all the neutral warm tones that I need. I need some warm tones, I need some real warm tones, and this one is giving me that. Really love this one. It's so easy, so quick, so blendable. I also love those metallics in here. They are not that shimmery, but they are really beautiful, and they have a beautiful metallic finish on your eyes. And yeah, I really love it. I can go smoky, I can go light, I can go everything with this, and it's an easy one for me. I would definitely keep this one as well to have some really warm brown tones in my collection, because I definitely need this one. So the last palette, number 10. It's a really fun one, and this is the palette I also am wearing on my eyes today. And it's the Melt Amor Mariposas palette. I love this one. You know, I have the Loco, but I think I also need a really bright palette in my collection, and this is perfect for that. I have all the red, rosy, pinky, orangey, greeny shades that I could wish for in this palette. I have a neutral row as well. I'm wearing basically the whole row from here on my upper lid area. This one I have in my inner corner, and this one I have in my upper outer corner area. Then I dipped a little bit into Sagrado. This one, this pinky rosy glittery shade right here, and put it at the inner portion of my upper lid. And with this pinky Abuelita shade and this Mariposa shade, I played a little bit on my lower lash line with them and made it all very nice, fun, but also really light and airy, I have to say. You can go really in so many directions with this palette, and therefore I really love it, and I think I need also something like that. You know, it's good to have one palette to have fun with, but it's better to have two to have fun with, so that you don't get bored. At least two options you can dip in if you want a fun, bright look on your eye. And I think to have two palettes, it's always good that there's a little bit of variety, you know. And I really love this one. I love the stuff that I have done with this one. I love the eye looks that I have done with this one. And yeah, I would miss this one for sure in my collection, because I think it's a really unique, nice and stunning palette. And it's also unique in that way that it's the first ever bigger palette Melt has come out with. And I really appreciate this one as well for that. And I also love the meaning behind it and everything. I love the packaging. I really think I would miss this one in my collection if I wouldn't keep it. So that's that. So guys, this was a little bit of a faster video. I hope you enjoyed it anyways, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me if you would do something different. I could imagine that some of you aren't that happy with my decision with the Millennial Pinks and the Divine Rose 2 palette, and I understand also why. But yeah, which 10 palettes would you keep? If there's something that you think I could have swapped out with another palette, or do you agree with my decision on those palettes, or would you do something a little bit different? Let me know in the comments down below. I would be really curious about that. Yeah, and if you like this video, I would be really happy if you give this one a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, maybe consider to subscribe my channel. This would make me really happy. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I would say we will see each other in my next video, and until then, bye.